Today we're breaking down 4 US quarter coins that are often claimed online to be worth thousands of dollars. We'll show the real market prices, real auction sales, and the facts behind the hype. Most are common, but a few rare examples can be valuable. Small details decide everything. The 1776 to 1976 D-Mint mark Bicentennial $quarter coin. Many people believe this coin is worth big money like $10,000 or even $50,000. This video will explain the real truth, real market value, real auction value, and why some coins are rare while most are common. If you have this coin or want to learn about it, watch this full video because small details can make a big difference in value. The 1776 to 1976 quarter was made to celebrate 200 years of American independence. The year 1776 was when America became free, and 1976 marked 200 years of that event. Because this was a special year, the United States Mint decided to change the design of the quarter for a short time. Instead of a normal eagle on the back, a new design was added. This made the coin very popular with the public. The front of the coin still shows George Washington. His face looks almost the same as regular quarters, but the date is different. Instead of 1 year, it shows 1776 to 1976. This is the only quarter in US history with 2 dates like this. On the back side, there is a colonial drummer with a torch and stars. This design was made to honor the soldiers and people from the American Revolution. The D-Mint mark on this coin means it was made at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint produced a very large number of bicentennial quarters. More than 800 million were made with the D-Mint mark. Because so many were made, most of these coins are not rare at all. Many people still find them in pocket change today. Most 1776 to 1976 quarters that are used and worn are only worth face value, which is 25 cents. Some may be worth a little more, like 50 cents or $1, if they are clean and not badly damaged. This is the real current market value for normal coins that have no errors and no special condition. Now let us talk about condition, because condition is very important for coin value. Coins that were never used and kept in perfect shape are called uncirculated coins. These coins look shiny, have no scratches, and no wear on Washington's face or the drummer. An uncirculated 1776 to 1976 quarter can be worth between $2 and $10 in the current market. If the coin is in very high grade, like MS67 or MS68, the value can be much higher. These grades mean the coin is almost perfect. These coins must be graded by a professional company like pcgs or NGC. At auction, some very high-grade bicentennial quarters have sold for $3,000 to $6,000. These are real auction results, not asking prices. Now let us talk about errors, because errors are the main reason some of these coins become valuable. A mint error happens when something goes wrong during the coin-making process. Not all errors are valuable, but some are very rare. One of the most famous errors on the 1776 to 1976 quarter is the double die error. This happens when the design is stamped twice in a slightly wrong position. This causes letters or numbers to look doubled. On this coin, doubling is often seen on the word Liberty, or on the date 1776 to 1976. A true double die error is rare and must be confirmed by experts. If the doubling is strong and clear, the coin can be valuable. In real auctions, a strong double die bicentennial quarter in high grade has sold for $4,000 to over $8,000. This is real auction value, not social media claims. Another type of error is an off-center strike. This means the coin design is not centered properly. Part of the coin may be missing or blank. If the date is still visible and the off-center strike is clear, the value can range from $100 to $500 depending on how strong the error is. Some bicentennial quarters have cracks, missing metal, or clipped edges. These errors happen when the metal planchet is damaged before striking. These coins usually sell for $50 to $300 in the current market, depending on condition and rarity. Now let us talk about silver, because this is where many people get confused. Some bicentennial quarters were made with silver, but the D-Mint mark version was not silver. The silver bicentennial quarters were made only at the San Francisco Mint and have an S Mint mark. If your coin has a D Mint mark, it is made of copper and nickel, not silver. Many online posts say the 1776 to 1976 D quarter is silver and worth $50,000. This is not true. The D Mint mark version does not contain silver. This is an important fact for collectors and beginners to understand. Now let us talk about the $50,000 claim. There is no confirmed public auction record of a 1776 to 1976 D bicentennial quarter selling for $50,000. Many high prices seen online are asking prices, not sold prices. Anyone can list a coin for any price, but that does not mean it is worth that amount. Real value comes from real auction sales. Based on real data, the highest prices for bicentennial quarters are usually for silver-proof versions or very high-grade era coins. Even then, prices usually stay below $20,000. This does not mean your coin has no value. It means the value depends on condition, era type, and grading. Most people own common versions, and that is normal. If you think you have a rare 1776 to 1976 D quarter, the first step is to look closely at it. Use a magnifying glass and check the letters and date. Look for clear doubling, missing parts, or strange shapes. Do not clean the coin, because cleaning can lower the value. The next step is to compare your coin with real verified examples online from trusted coin sites or auction houses. If the coin looks promising, you can send it to a grading company. Grading costs money, so it should only be done if the coin has a strong chance of being valuable. Collectors care a lot about grading because it protects the coin and proves it is real. A graded coin is easier to sell and often sells for more money than an ungraded coin. In today's market, coin prices change based on demand, condition, and collector interest. The bicentennial quarter is popular because of its history and unique design. This keeps steady interest, but the high supply keeps most values low. The true value of the 1776 to 1976 D bicentennial quarter today is usually between 25 cents and $10 for most coins. Era coins and top condition coins can go much higher, reaching thousands in some cases. But these are rare and not common finds. It is important to enjoy coin collecting as a hobby, not just for money. Many collectors keep bicentennial quarters because they represent an important time in American history. Even common coins can have meaning and value beyond price. If you found this coin in your change, you did not find instant wealth, but you did find a piece of history. Learning how to identify real value helps you avoid false claims and scams. This is why education is the most important part of coin collecting. Knowing facts protects your money and your time. Next up, not many people know this, but a 1966 Washington quarter can be either just a regular coin worth 25 cents, or in rare cases worth real money if it is in almost perfect condition or has a real mint error. Most of these coins you find in change today are worth 25 cents, but some have sold at major auctions for thousands of dollars recently. One graded coin in nearly perfect condition sold for over $20,000 at a big coin auction in 2023, and collectors still seek these coins because they tell a story about how money was made in the past. The 1966 quarter was made by the United States Mint, and it has no mint mark. That means it doesn't have a letter like D or S that shows where it was made. At that time, the US Mint didn't put mint marks on many coins because they wanted to stop collectors from hoarding coins. They wanted coins to stay in everyday use. Because of this, millions of these coins were made, so most of them are very common and worth just face value. What makes some 1966 quarters valuable is the condition and the rarity of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale where high grades mean the coin looks almost brand new with very little wear. Coins in everyday circulation or ones that have been handled many times are usually worth their face value of 25 cents. But coins that have never been used and still have full detail, with sharp features and no scratches, can be worth a lot more. There is a grading system that collectors use. It goes from low grades, which are worn coins, up to very high grades like MS-67 or MS-68+, where the coin looks nearly perfect. A 1966 quarter-graded MS-68 Plus is considered extremely rare and one sold at auction for about $21,000 in 2023. This was a real sale through a major auction house, and it shows how valuable certain coins can be when they are in top condition. Most collectors don't expect to find such perfect examples because out of millions of coins made, very few stay in this condition. Many have scratches and wear from being handled over the decades. Even coins graded in the MS-67 range can be worth significantly more than ordinary examples. Some MS-67 graded coins have sold for around $500 or more at auctions. Besides condition, there are some different types of 1966 quarters that are worth more than the regular ones because of how they were struck or because they have errors. These errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process. Sometimes the coin dies make mistakes, or a wrong metal blank gets put into the machine and is struck like a quarter. These error coins are unusual and collectors pay extra for them. One common type of error is called double die reverse, which means the back of the coin was struck twice in slightly different positions. When this happens, letters and designs on the back can look doubled or blurry. Some of these error coins have sold for hundreds of dollars at auctions, with one example selling for around $920 in the past. Another error is when a quarter is accidentally struck on the wrong planchet or metal blank. Instead of using the correct quarter blank, the machine might use a blank for a dime, a nickel, or even a cent by mistake. When this happens, the quarter design will be incomplete or cut off because the blank is smaller. These coins are unusual and can be worth more than ordinary quarters, sometimes a few $100s or more depending on the specific error and condition. There are also coins that are part of special mint sets, SMS. These are not regular circulation coins but were struck with a special finish and were meant for collectors. SMS coins from 1966 are rarer because fewer were made and they can sometimes be worth a few $1,000s when graded in high condition. It is important to understand that not every old quarter from 1966 is valuable just because it feels old or has a little wear. Most ordinary 1966 quarters are worth only 25 cents, which is their face value. The ones that are worth more are either in extremely high condition or have some real and recognized error or special strike. If you look at everyday value guides, a common 1966 quarter in circulated condition is worth around 25 cents to a few dollars. Coins graded between MS-60 and MS-65 might be worth from a few dollars up to around $20 or $30, and common uncirculated examples graded around MS-67 might be tens to a few $100s on the market. But coins that reach the very top grades like MS-68 Plus are much more rare and valuable. The main reason why most are common is that the US Mint made a huge number of these coins in 1966, over 800 million. Because so many were made and many were used for buying goods and services, most of them show wear and find their way back into change. This large supply makes them easy to find and worth little money in most cases. When people find one of these coins in change and think it might be valuable, the first thing they should do is check its condition closely. A coin that looks shiny and clean with sharp details around Washington's face and the eagle on the back might be worth checking further, while one that is scratched and worn usually is not worth much beyond face value. Another thing collectors do is look for clear errors that are recognized by grading and auction houses. Slight or minor defects or scratches from circulation usually do not add value and often reduce it. But mistakes made at the minting stage, like the double die or wrong planchet errors described earlier, are what collectors look for. A common place for collectors to sell valuable coins is at professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These houses sell rare coins to serious collectors and often publish sale results, so buyers and sellers know what coins are selling for in real markets. The sale of the MS-68 Plus 1966 quarter for over $20,000 was recorded at such an auction, showing what real buyers are willing to pay when a coin is rare enough and in top condition. It's also worth noting that some listings online might show extremely high asking prices for ordinary coins, but those do not always reflect real sale prices. A coin listed for $25,000 does not mean someone actually paid that amount for it. Experienced collectors always check completed and verified sale records, not just asking prices. That way they know what a coin truly sold for, not what someone hopes to get. If you think you have a valuable 1966 quarter, another step many serious collectors take is to have it graded and certified by a trusted grading service like pcgs or NGC. These services carefully inspect the coin, assign a grade based on its condition, and encapsulate it in a protective holder. A certification can increase the coin's value because buyers know exactly what they are getting. When selling a valuable coin, you want potential buyers to trust that the coin is genuine and that the grade is accurate. That is why coins graded by these companies often sell for more money than ungraded ones. Graded coins are usually sold at major auctions or through reputable coin dealers. One thing to remember is that condition and rarity are more important than the age of the coin. A 1966 quarter that has been in a pocket or wallet for years and has lost its details is not worth much more than face value. But a coin that looks almost new or has a unique mint error is rare, and that rarity is what drives up the price in auctions. There are people who collect coins for fun, and there are people who collect them as an investment. If you just want to collect because you like the history and design, even ordinary coins can be interesting. But if you are looking at coins as investments that might be worth money someday, coins in top condition with rare features are usually the ones to focus on. Right now in the market, a standard 1966 quarter in normal circulated condition will almost always be worth close to 25 cents, maybe a few dollars at most if it is in very good condition. Uncirculated coins in grades up to about MS65 are usually worth a little more, but nothing extraordinary. Coins graded MS67 or MS68 plus are where you start seeing hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars in real auction results. Error coins, depending on the type and how clear the error is, often range from around $100 to several $100s if the mistake is real and recognized by experts. Very rare and unusual errors that are clearly defined can be worth more, especially to the right buyer. So if you find a 1966 Washington quarter in your change and it looks ordinary, don't worry, it is still a piece of history and fun to hold, even if it's only worth 25 cents. But if you find one that looks very sharp, almost perfect, or you see a strange detail that doesn't look normal, then it deserves a closer look by someone who knows how to grade and authenticate coins. In simple words, most 1966 quarters are common and worth their face value, but a few rare examples in top condition or with real errors have been known to sell for big money, including tens of thousands of dollars in auctions. Because of that possibility, collectors and everyday people alike keep an eye out for these old coins, hoping they might have something special without even knowing it. Next up, most expensive and ultra-rare coin worth big money. 1968 No Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin value $15,000. From United States. In today's video we are talking about one of the most searched coins in America. Many people see this coin online and think they are rich. Some videos say it is worth thousands of dollars. Some say $15,000. This makes people excited and curious. So in this video we will explain everything very clearly and honestly. If you stay till the end, you will fully understand what this coin really is, why people talk about big money, and what the real value is today in the market and in auctions. The 1968 Washington quarter is a coin from the United States that many people have seen or even used. It is not very old, but it is important in coin history. This coin shows George Washington on the front side. On the back side, it shows an eagle with wings spread. This design was used for many years. In 1968, millions of these quarters were made, and many of them are still around today in homes, coin jars, and old collections. In the year 1968, the United States Mint made quarters in 3 different places. These places were Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark in 1968. This means coins from Philadelphia have no letter on them. Denver coins have a small d, and San Francisco coins have a small s. So when people say, "No mint mark," for a 1968 quarter, it simply means it was made in Philadelphia. This is normal and not an error. Many people think that no mint mark means rare. That is not true for this year. In fact, Philadelphia made more than 220 million quarters in 1968. This means the no mint mark quarter is very common. Because so many were made, most of them are only worth face value, which is 25 cents, if they are used and worn. Now let us talk about the metal of this coin. Before 1965, quarters were made of silver. But starting in 1965, the US Mint stopped using silver for regular quarters. The 1968 quarter is made of copper and nickel. It has a copper center and nickel on the outside. This means it does not have silver value. So if someone tells you it is silver, that is wrong unless it is a very rare error coin. The reason people talk about big money like $15,000 is because of special cases. These are not normal coins. These are coins in perfect condition or coins with real mint errors. Only a very small number of 1,968 quarters fall into this category. Most people will never find one, but they do exist, and that is why the stories continue. Condition is one of the most important things in coin value. A quarter that was used in daily life will have scratches, dull color, and worn details. These coins are called circulated coins. A circulated 1968 no-mint mark quarter is usually worth only 25 cents. Sometimes it may be worth 30 or 40 cents if it looks a little better, but not much more. Uncirculated coins are different. These coins were never used. They look shiny, sharp, and clean. Even uncirculated 1968 no-mint mark quarters are not extremely valuable. Most of them sell for $1 to $5. This is the real current market value today. Now we move to high-grade coins. Coin grading companies use numbers to show condition. Grades like MS65, MS66, MS67, and MS68 mean very high quality. A 1968 quarter in MS67 or MS68 condition is very hard to find. These coins are almost perfect. Because of this, collectors pay much more for them. At real coin auctions, a 1968 Washington quarter with no mint mark graded MS68 has sold for several $1,000s. One famous auction sale reached close to $9,000. This is a real auction value, not a guess. But these coins are extremely rare. They must be graded by professional companies and confirmed as top quality. This is where confusion starts. People see one rare auction sale and think all 1968 no-mint mark quarters are worth that much. That is not true. The auction price only applies to that exact coin with that exact grade. A normal coin from a pocket is not the same thing. Now let us talk about errors. Error coins are made when something goes wrong during the minting process. Some errors are small and not valuable. Some are large and very valuable. For the 1968 quarter, real errors can increase the value a lot. One type of error is a double die. This happens when the design is stamped twice in a way that creates doubling on letters or numbers. You may see doubling on the word Liberty or the date. If the doubling is strong and clear, collectors may pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition. Another error is an off-center strike. This means the design is not in the center of the coin. Part of the design may be missing. If the off-center strike is large and still shows the date, the coin can be valuable. Prices can range from $50 to several $100s. There are also missing layer errors. Since this coin is made of layers, sometimes one layer is missing. This can expose the copper core or make the coin lighter than normal. These errors are rare and can be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars if real. One of the rarest errors is when a 1968 quarter is struck on a silver planchet by mistake. This means it was struck on the wrong blank meant for older silver coins. These coins are extremely rare. If verified, they can sell for several $1,000s at auction. Because error coins can be valuable, many people think they have one. But most coins are not errors. Damage from use, scratches, or machines can look like errors but are not. This is why professional grading is important before believing big values. Now let us clearly explain the real current value. A normal circulated 1968 no-mint mark quarter is worth 25 cents. An uncirculated one is worth $1 to $5. A high-grade certified coin can be worth $50 to several $1,000s. Error coins can range from $50 to over $5,000 depending on type and condition. The $15,000 value that people talk about is not common. There is no regular market price of $15,000 for this coin. Only a perfect coin with a very rare error and top grade could even come close, and even then it would need a strong auction and serious collectors. Auction value and market value are not the same. Market value is what people usually pay when buying and selling coins. Auction value depends on demand, timing, and competition between buyers. One auction sale does not mean every coin has that value. Many online listings are misleading. Sellers sometimes list common coins for high prices hoping someone will believe the claim. Just because a coin is listed for $15,000 does not mean it will sell for that price. Only sold prices matter. If you have a 1968 no mint mark quarter, the best thing to do is check its condition. Look for clear details, strong shine, and no wear. Then look for real errors using a magnifying glass. If you truly believe your coin is special, send it to a professional grading service. This coin is still interesting even if it is not valuable. It represents a time when U.S. coins changed metal and mint marks returned. Many collectors enjoy keeping one as part of a full Washington quarter set. The most important thing to remember is knowledge protects you. Understanding the real facts helps you avoid disappointment and scams. This coin can be valuable, but only in rare cases. Most of them are simple, common, and only worth face value. So when you hear big money stories, always look deeper. Ask for proof, grading, and real auction records. That is how collectors separate truth from hype. Last, the 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial quarter from the United States, and explain it in very simple words so everyone can understand. This quarter was made to mark 200 years of America's independence, and billions were made by the United States Mint, so most of them are just worth 25 cents in everyday use. But some special ones are worth big money, even thousands of dollars or more, when they have rare mistakes or are very perfect and graded by coin experts. In the real coin market and at auctions, some of these rare versions have sold for over $19,000, $25,000, or much higher depending on the type and condition. These values are based on real collector sales and auction records, so you can know what might make your coin valuable and why people collect them. Most bicentennial quarters you find in pocket change are simply worth their face value of 25 cents, and many collectors around the world will tell you that normal ones don't bring a big price unless they are in perfect shape or have unusual features. But a small number of these coins have special mistakes from the minting process or are from special proof or silver sets, and those can be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars when sold to collectors or at auctions. The story of this coin begins with a simple idea. In 1976, the United States was celebrating 200 years since the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the U.S. Mint wanted to make coins that showed this milestone. They chose to show George Washington's image on the front, just like the regular quarter, and on the back they used a special design showing a colonial drummer with a drum, a torch, and 13 stars, one for each of the original American colonies. This design was meant to remind people of the American Revolution and the first years of the nation. Even though so many of these coins were made that finding one today is easy, it is the small differences or mistakes that make some of them worth real money to collectors. The first things people notice when looking at a bicentennial quarter are the words 1776 to 1976 under George Washington's neck and the special design on the back. Most of these coins were made to be used every day in cash transactions, and because of that they were not rare or low in number at the time. Normal bicentennial quarters in used condition are just worth their face value, and even uncirculated ones without any errors are normally only worth a few dollars to collectors. However, when something strange or unusual happened during the stamping of the coin at the mint, that can make a big difference in value. One of the most interesting rare versions of this quarter is known as a double die error. This happened when the coin die struck the coin more than once, and the design was slightly shifted the second time. This creates a visible, doubling, effect on letters and numbers, especially on the word, Liberty, and the date. 1776 to 1976. Collectors look for this doubling because it is unusual and makes the coin collectible. In real auction sales, some of the most dramatic double-die bicentennial quarters have sold for thousands of dollars, like one example that brought around $8,400 at an auction. Another rare and very exciting type of mistake is when the quarter was accidentally struck on the wrong blank piece of metal, called a wrong planchet strike. Instead of striking a quarter on the correct metal, it was stamped on a blank meant for a dime or penny. These are easy to spot because the shape, size, or weight of the coin will be unusual. In the collector market, these wrong planchet strikes are extremely rare and valuable, and some have sold for $10,000 to $25,000 or even more when authenticated and graded by professional services like pcgs or NGC, which are respected grading companies that certify the coin's authenticity and quality. Some coins have another kind of mint error where the metal layers separate or are missing. Modern quarters are made from layers of metals called clad, which means a mix of copper and nickel in layers. If one of these layers did not form correctly or peeled off, it can leave a part of the coin looking coppery or odd. These coins are rare and some collectors are willing to pay hundreds or sometimes thousands of dollars depending on how dramatic and unusual the error looks. There are also very rare mistakes called blockage errors. This happens when a coin that has already been stamped sticks to the die, and then imprints its design in reverse onto the next coin that is struck. That means one side of the coin looks normal, but the other side has a reversed or mirrored impression of the coin that stuck to the die. These blockage errors are very uncommon, and some have sold for $15,000 up to $50,000 in nice condition because they are so unusual and dramatic. Beyond errors, another category that drives high values in the Bicentennial Quarter series are special proof and silver versions. Proof coins are specially made for collectors and have polished surfaces, sharper details, and were not intended to be used as regular money. Some proof bicentennial quarters, especially those made from 40% silver at the San Francisco Mint, have brought very high prices at auction. For example, one 1976 bicentennial silver-proof quarter in a very high grade was recorded at selling for $19,200, and other silver proofs have sold for over $13,000 or more depending on grade. These auction results show that even coins from this modern era can be extremely valuable when they are rare and in perfect condition. Keep in mind that these high values are not common. The vast majority of normal bicentennial quarters, the ones that were used in everyday change and look worn or even shiny but without mistakes, are only worth 25 cents or a few dollars in uncirculated condition. People on coin forums and collectors often remind others that unless a coin has a clear error or is one of these special proof or silver versions, its value will not be high. But if you find something that looks unusual or different from your other quarters, it might be worth closer inspection, and a professional appraiser or grading service can help determine if it truly is one of the rare and valuable ones. Another thing to understand is that the condition of the coin matters a lot. Even among rare error types, coins that are graded higher, meaning they look almost perfect with no scratches or wear, will bring much more money at auction than ones with blemishes or wear. That is why many of the most expensive bicentennial quarters were sold in top grades like MS66 or PR69, where the coin's details and surface are nearly flawless. These high grades are only given by professional grading services after careful examination. If you are curious whether a coin in your collection could be valuable, the first step is to look closely at the details with a magnifying glass to see if you notice any doubling, missing design, wrong planchet shape, or unusual surface features. If you find something that looks different from the normal coins, you can compare it to photos online or take it to a coin dealer who knows about error coins. Many valuable coins were found simply by people noticing something odd and deciding to learn more about it. In simple terms, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarter is a coin that most people know, but only a few special ones are worth collecting seriously because of rare mistakes or special production versions. A normal circulated bicentennial quarter is common and worth just 25 cents, but rare errors or high-grade proofs, especially silver ones, are worth real money and can bring thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Because of this mix of common and rare, these coins remain exciting to many collectors who love checking their jars of old coins to see if they might have something valuable. If you find a coin that you think might be one of those rare ones, please remember that coin values can change with market trends, collector demand, and the professional grade it receives, so having it authenticated and graded by a trusted service is key to knowing its real current value today.